The use of the drug methamphetamine has increased 300% over the past decade. Experts are calling it an epidemic, but the drug, which has killed hundreds of people, is also claiming victims who never abused it. In today's headline story, Matt Mahar explains how.
Police in protective gear raid a house they suspect is full of dangerous toxins.
You're under arrest. Come out with your hands up.
Is it anthrax or some other form of bioterrorism? No, these police officers in suburban Denver are not hunting terrorists. They're busting suspected drug dealers. Why the hazard suits and breathing gear? Because these homes are used as methamphetamine labs, where an addictive cocaine-like drug is made by combining highly toxic chemicals like acid and lye.
Unfortunately, it doesn't take a lot of education for these people to manufacture methamphetamine. They simply follow a recipe.
Sergeant Jim Gerhardt is part of a multi-state meth task force based in Colorado. He says meth labs are dangerous not only for cops and firefighters, but for anyone else who goes in, until the homes are thoroughly decontaminated. Police wouldn't even let me enter this recently raided house unless I put on full protective gear. They say the toxic effects of cooking or manufacturing meth stay with a home long after the drug dealers are gone.
These are the harmful vapors that come off when you mix these chemicals together. They form a harmful gas that can be toxic to you or dangerous. They can stain the wall and they permeate the walls.
Chemical residue is everywhere, not only on the walls, but in the carpets, in the clothes. And police worry that these toys found in a bedroom next to the lab mean a child has been exposed. While we were protected from these chemicals, it's shockingly common to find children who aren't so lucky living in meth labs.
It's disgusting. I can't imagine doing that to your child.
Just days after Sherry and Matt Norgard moved into this upscale apartment complex in suburban Denver, their 2-year-old daughter, Colette, started getting very sick.
She had numerous ear infections within like a 3.5-month span, and she was also hospitalized with pneumonia.
The Norgards say they were never told that 8 months before they moved in, their apartment was being used as a meth lab.
You try to keep your family and your children out of harm's way, and it was forced upon us.
The Norgards say the test later found the carpet where Colette had crawled and the vent over her crib were contaminated with toxic chemicals. They're now suing the apartment complex, which denies their allegations. Researcher Dr. John Martini says the chemicals left behind in meth houses put unsuspecting families, particularly children, at risk.
Their lungs are still forming, they're breathing harder, and so the effects can be dramatically increased.
And the problem is widespread. Sergeant Gerhardt thinks there could be hundreds of thousands of contaminated homes across the country.
We found these labs in every kind of neighborhood you can think of.
This was one of the biggest meth labs ever raided in the Denver area. A year and a half after the raid, we found this woman. Rachel Antillon had just moved in.
Yeah, you can see that the walls are kind of discolored in the bathroom.
Rachel says she has been experiencing breathing problems, but she had no idea her home might be making her sick until we told her what had happened here.
Do you think the landlord should have informed you?
Yeah, I really think he should have told me.
Rachel's landlord says he adequately decontaminated the apartment and wasn't required to tell her.
She's basically sleeping in what was a meth lab.
Right. So police brought in a special team to test for toxins. 18 months after the bust, the microwave and the ceiling fan in the bedroom had levels of meth at least 2,000 times what's considered safe. Rachel was shocked.
Oh, God. And I've been sleeping there every night.
Rachel has since moved out and says her breathing problems have disappeared. As for the Norgards, they worry they may never know whether their daughter suffered permanent harm because they moved into a home that used to be a meth lab.
That's the scariest part for us right now, is not knowing.
Incredibly, most states do not require landlords or realtors to disclose that a property has been a former meth lab or even to have it decontaminated.